What's good, John? Welcome to my review for this week's episode, or I should say, last week's episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind. Once again, sorry guys, this video took so long. I actually meant to do this way earlier on in the week, like around Tuesday-ish, maybe even Thursday. But first off, I forgot about it, and secondly, I was busy editing up a Hero Waka episode reaction, which is our episode discussion, I should say. That's already up on the channel if you guys want to check that out. Pretty good video if you ask me. I think it's definitely one of the better ones I put out. I love Hero Waka, man. I always love discussing it. So check that video guys out if you want. And I want to get that video on like today because of course tomorrow is when Hero Waka, the next episode drops. I was like, I didn't want to have like that review from like last week's episode, my review from this week's episode, kind of like competing against each other, and that would just kind of clash the whole thing. So I wanted to get it out like today or yesterday. Got it, so I got that video finished. So apologies. So yeah, that pretty much took up most of my day, was editing through that. And yeah, guys, but overall, love this episode. This episode was fantastic. We finally got to see the debut of Sex Pistols, or I guess Six Bullets, as it's known in the dub. I mean, the name's not terrible, but why did they just go with Six Pistols? Like, the title of the episode was called Six Pistols, but yet the stand's called Six Bullets. Doesn't really make much sense, if you ask me, but whatever, maybe it's a dubbing error. Maybe the stand's actually called Six Pistols. I don't know why Viz or Crunchyroll or whoever's in charge of the localization names didn't just go with like Six Pistols. That was probably like the easiest out for the stand. You keep most of the name and you just switch one letter, you know, but whatever. I'm probably gonna call it Sex. You're probably gonna hear me call it Sex Pistols, honestly, more. If not, if you're either gonna hear me saying Sex Pistols or Six Pistols, you're gonna hear me want to say one of those two things because I'm not saying Six Bullets. I can assure you that. But anyway, so let's just jump right in, man. So he starts it off with Fugo checking Larancha's head to see if because he has like a bump there, and tell me if I'm wrong, guys. For you guys that are like big like that, like y'all are like big on the JoJo fandom, or you were like while the show was airing with the Japanese. Was this like a popular yaoi ship, Fugo and Larancha? Because from this episode, I could tell it was a popular yaoi ship. I can already see because from watching the scene, I can already see the yaoi fangirls salivating at the mouth, be like, I'm a ship fan art time, you know, and then making their god-awful fan art to their cringy as fuck fanfics. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm pretty sure I'm right, but yeah, because it just screams that shit. Anyway, so Fugo tells them that, you know, oh yeah, man, that's a real goose egg you got right there, fam, you know. And then Larancha's pissed off and he just starts kicking Zucchero. He just starts kicking him, and then everyone else starts getting involved. I'm like, wait, there's two kicking memes with the show? I thought there was just the one, but apparently there's a second kicking meme, or I guess this was the first, but the one that actually caught wind was the second one. I don't know if I'll be making two kicking memes or not. Probably just stick to the one, honestly. But anyway, so while this is going on, Mista goes check up on, we see Zucchero's head. The dude's still decapitated, but he also has like a zipper over his mouth, but there's still a little opening in it, so I'm assuming so he can breathe. But they're just kicking his body. Giorno checks up on his wall and sees that his name is Zucchero. And from there, Mista just starts interrogating the guy, and he's just like, oh, yeah, man. Oh, is that seaweed on your face? Or is that trash? I'd like to think it's seaweed, but it looks like plastic to me. Although I hate for it to be plastic, that means that these beautiful waters are being polluted. You know? And then it just gets crazy, and he's like, oh, come on, man, I'm asking you a question. The least you could do is converse with me, you know? He's like with Kira, he's like, JoJo characters and conversing, I love, man. Like, you remember part 4, we had the time where Kira was going up against Koichi the first time out, and he's like, I've gone out of my way to pay you my respects, boy. My respects. The least you could do is converse with me. You know, there was that scene, now we got this one where Mista's like, you mind speaking up, man, answering my question? But then Mista just goes Absolutely insane, because he finds this rope, this like fishing line, and glasses near him. Where he got these or how they got there is an anomaly to me. But he uses these. Oh my god, I was cringing. So what he does is he asks him like, which one does he want? Does he want him to use first? Because he's going to torture him to get the information out of him. So what he does is that he's like, oh, since you're not going to answer me, I'll just use both. So what he does is he takes the fishing line, puts it. Oh my god, I'm cringing right now. I'm cringing. He literally puts it in his. Oh god, I can't even really describe without cringing hard. He puts the fishing line in his eyelid, throws his head overboard, has it wrapped around like the balcony or whatever, or the railing a couple times. Then he puts the glasses on top of him, where he's like right underneath or right by the sun, so the glasses from it pass through it and work as pretty much as fire to start a fire in his eye. Yes. So while he's getting hung up there, this the sun, the light from the sun is passing through the glasses, and it's literally burning his eye. I'm cringing right now as I am trying to describe this. I am cringing so hard. But then, while this is going on, Narancha is going he's going like, heaven, hell, purgatory, heaven, hell, purgatory. He starts doing that. He's like, and then he lands on purgatory. He's like, oh man, looks like you lucked out. Purgatory is, and then he plays the record, and then we get another JoJo meme that came from Part 5, the dancing one. They just start dancing. I don't know what the song was, but it was hot. I was dancing along with them, dancing. Yeah, it was a good song. They even had some stuff with they even had like Zukaro's head kind of like messing around with different colors. It looked like a 90s or 80s music video that you would see on MTV, honestly, which I'm sure was the point. So they're dancing along. Then I'm probably gonna meme that later on after I'm done recording this review. So keep tabs on my Twitter, guys, if you want to check that out. But anyway, Abakio calls to everyone, and we see through Moody Jazz on what Zukero was doing. But of course he tells Giorno, I don't trust you yet, so turn around. You're lucky I'm even letting you hear his voice. Abakio, he still doesn't trust Giorno, and we see what Zukero did, and he pretty much tells him that he already got them in captivity, and that they're heading over to Capri. So from there, they're kind of debating amongst themselves, which we do. And also the guy's going there by speedboat, so most likely he's already there. So they're just deciding what's the next plan of attack for Butarati. Abakio just tells him he's sure call Butarati, what do we do? And Butarati thinks for a moment. He's like, indecision is not an option for this case. Then Giorno comes in there and he pretty much just says, why don't we just swim there? And they're like, why? How? Like, do you have a death wish or something? That's what Abakio tells him. And he says he's going to turn this life, although he called it something else, into a fish, which he does, and then just have it swim, and then have it take him all the way over there to the island to figure out what's going on with him. So that's what they plan on doing. Abakio thinks this idea is stupid, but actually, Misa, he actually likes the idea, and he's like, oh, fuck it, you know what, I'll head with Giorno. And then we see the first look of Sex Pistols, which I actually checked the episode again. The title of the episode is actually called Six Bullets, appears, what it said on my cable box when I put the info button was Six Pistols, probably because they couldn't say Sex Pistols, so my bad on that, although they should just call it Six Pistols. I mean, they'll throw the most easy out for the stand, but that's just me. Anyway, so Mista agrees to go with the Giorno, and then once we see them back, once we get back from commercial break, is them around the island scouting out the area. Well, actually, before they start scouting out the area, we see Mista, the man decides, you know what? It's time to eat lunch. And when I say it's time to eat, I don't mean, he just goes sit on some rock and, enjoy a sandwich, Or maybe have, maybe a small bowl of some fucking spaghetti or some shit. No. We are in Italy. And when we are in Italy, we go all out. So, this man legit brings out a table. There's a cloth on top. The man got a bottle of wine. He got some cheeses. He got a fork and knife. And he got some salami. The man got the whole 9 yards. All he's missing is some fucking pasta and some garlic bread. That's all he's missing here, man. So, and the Giorno looks at him like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing here, man? What is this? And then Lisa explains to him, well, if you couldn't tell already, Giorno, it's way past lunchtime, man. And he just go, and like, excuse me. And it's just like you're telling him about, like, that no one can work here, that if you go to any bookstore or whatever, nobody here can work, on empty stomach. And then he just looks at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, oh, well, I'm not like that, but these guys, yeah, they take that tradition to a T, and out come Sex Pistols. So and there's about 6 of them, although he's missing the number 4 because, of course, 4 is bad luck, So he's even superstitious. I'm surprised his superstition exceeds to his stand. But I guess it is the manifestation of the soul, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised at that. Or maybe he did come with 7, and he just got rid of number 4. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, he has 6 pistols. None of them are numbered. Go through 1 to 7 with no number 4. And so he starts cutting up pieces of salon by this point, and he just starts handing them to Sex Pistols, and they just start feeding. What you gotta say? I mean, we've had stands like this in the past. Like we had what the hell is that dude's name? Shigechi. Yeah, his stand Harvest. So we've had stands, but there's something different about Sex Pistols. Sex Pistols is just a weird ass stand. I do like it. I do think it's a cool stand, but it's just weird, man. It has to be like the weirdest stand I've seen. Like, you got like these 6 little guys coming out of it, and they just start arguing, and then you got Misa legit talking to them, be like, hey, number 4, stop that, or hey, number 5, stop beating up number 3, and I'm just like, this stand is so weird, but I like it. So they start eating it, and then number 3, I think we can all unanimously agree, 3 is an asshole. Legitimately, number 3 is a huge asshole. Man is just like, you got number 5. He's minding his own business, eating his salami, trying to enjoy lunch. Then number 3 is like, hey, give me some of that, punches him, and then just starts eating it, or he starts to eat at his, and he like punches number 5, or he punches number 5, and then number 5 just starts crying. It's just like, oh man, it's just, I like it, but man, this has been like the weirdest stand I've seen, man. But anyway, but Giorno's just looking at this like, he's like, don't worry, man, I know what you're gonna say, I'll get him on task. So and he also asked him to pull out the radio. Giorno, so then out of the battery they had there. So he pulls out the radio, and Giorno just kind of sits there while, and he also sits on the radio, but we don't know what he says, at least not at that current second. But we find out, I'm assuming he told him later when he asked like the lagoon, the guy who was working at like the dock, to relay a message from the lagoon. Anyway, and while this is going on, Mista, he's by the little like dock office, whatever you want to call it. He's sitting in the shadow part of there so no one can see him. And he got 6 pistols ready. He's looking over the corner to see if anyone's coming out there. Then the guy that was in there just starts calling, "Hey, anybody from the lagoon? We have a message from what's his name? Man, I'm terrible with names. From Mario. I know his first name's Mario. We got a message from Mario. Come out and really basically he says it a couple more times. No one shows up. Giorno's like, okay, what's going on? Does he? Is he playing it safe? Did he just realize he's 10 billion real richer? Excuse me. What's going on here? What's going on? And so then no one shows up, but then by this point, Misa looks over at Giorno, and Giorno shakes his head, and he's like, where is he? And then the dude goes on the radio, be like, hey, why'd you send out the message? Do we have a problem here? And then Giorno rushes right back to the binoculars, trying to figure out where he is. He finally found him. He's actually inside the dock, and he's on the radio. He tries to tell Misa this. He starts waving his arms around. Misa's like, oh, he's here. So he goes out the shadows, and he's coming close to the window. By this point, Giorno's like, no, you idiot! He puts up like an X sign and does moving with his hands to get back. And he's just not listening. Then he just starts shouting, Mista, he's in the dock, he's in the office, but he can't hear him. But he can't hear a word he's saying. So eventually he just gets past the window and the dude recognizes him as one of Bucciarati's guys. And he starts to freak out. But then by this point, Giorno just picks up the mic and just starts screaming at him like, he's in the window, he's in the office, And he looks over to his left. The dude pulls down the blinds, and then Mike Mista pulls out Sex Pistols, fires up two of them, and one of them is like, you got one of the guys out there who's riding one of the bullets. I think it was like number 1. I think it was, and then number 2 is just flying in the air. He's just like, "Hey, pass!" So then this stand is cool, but man, is it weird. So Sex Pistols comes in there, or number 2, or I think it was number 2. It might have been number 1. Number 1, I'll just say it's number 1. Number 1 comes in there on the bullet. Then he passes over to number 2. Number 2 kicks it like a soccer ball, or a football. Excuse me there, Italians. And then he lands right in the dude's knee. He falls to the ground, and Amisa goes to check up on him to see if he got hit. He ends up by the time he gets there, he's already gone, but he does see a trail of blood. Oh, and one last thing I forgot to mention. After Sex Pistols managed to get the bull right in the dude's leg, they even do a little celebration, like, "Oh yeah, we did it, yeah!" And they even do like a little celebration with like a bro fist and everything. Oh man, this stands certainly something. Anyway, so he goes to check out, and actually right before that, the dude that's like, "Hey man, what was that?" He says, "Oh, gunshot." He shows off his revolver, like nothing more than you hear in the movies. But if you got a problem, but if you still got some problems, I'm pretty busy doing something. But once I'm done with that, we can discuss your complaints. I think you don't need me to elaborate on what he meant when he was doing that, and the man was practically threatening him. And all the guys are like, okay, man. So he goes over there, notices that there's a rear entrance. He's like, okay, so he probably went. So that's how we got in undetected. So either A, this dude is taking cautious to a whole new level, or B, this sneaky bastard, I should say, is always trying to get into places on the down low. So he walks past it, follows the trail of blood, leads him to a truck. I actually mentioned like how in the dock area that's just where tours are, and then right after that's a cliff. So he obviously didn't climb it with that bum leg he now has. So he looks around and they find a truck. Looks over, he goes down to the ground and notices the trail blood continues over there. So that's probably where he's most likely is. He thinks about whether or not he could be a long-range type stand user, which you realize that's probably not the case, because if he did, I don't know, I'm starting so much. He thinks he's a short-range stand with striking power, guys like Golden Experience, Star Platinum, Shining Diamond, etc., etc., etc. Because if he had a long-range stance, he probably already would have tapped him by now. So he follows the blood. He already has his gun up and ready to fire off. But he's wondering, like, should I wait for back? He said, he tried thinking about what he should do next, but he then decided that I should wait for Jordan to come up there for backup. The car starts running. It's about to move forward. So it's like, shit. Well, I can't do that option, and just charges straight towards it as it starts to begin to move. Misa goes over there, grabs onto like this little pole or whatever on the truck, pulls up on it, and then has his gun pointed right at the guy and being like, "Die!" And that's where we cut back to Giorno, where he gets by the dock at the office area, which is where the episode just ends right there. So overall, this episode was awesome, guys. I love it in part 5. I wouldn't say it's as good as, but then again, we're still very early on. I remember I wasn't singing part 4's praises, saying I was the best part of JoJo till long after Kira got introduced, and we really started to get to know the Kira. I'm talking especially once we got to the Bites the Dust arc. That's when I really started to praise part 4. So I feel like part 5 is also gonna be like that, a bit of a slow burn. I'll be like, oh yeah, it's awesome, but then by the end of it, I'm gonna be singing it and saying it's like the best part of JoJo. We'll have to wait and see on that it truly is that's the case, because I said that about part 2, I said that about part 3, and I said that about part 4. Let's see if we continue to streak with part 5, and then part 6 whenever that comes out. But yeah, guys. So, hope y'all, if I didn't say already, my final verdict for this episode will be a 9 out of 10. Awesome stuff. Can't wait to see what we got next week, or I guess in a couple days. Actually, no, tomorrow, because I'm recording this on Friday. So, tomorrow. So yeah, guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, flag, and link down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.